just a few things. I'm recording this so that other people here or who are not here can obviously know what's going on. But Team Cup registration is coming to an end very soon. The month of July is almost over, which is absolutely insane to me. So if you do not have a Team Cup team, post in our coach group so that we can help you get on a team. Team Cup is a lot of fun. If you do not know what Team Cup is, basically you're putting together a team of 5 people and you're working together to help as many people connect with a challenge pack in the month of August as you possibly can. It's a competition. I looked at the prizes today and they're giving away like daily sunshine picnic blankets, which are super cute, I think. Um, so if all of you guys achieve Success Club 5, they send you prizes and all kinds of really cute stuff. But the point of it is really just to create team camaraderie and just have fun together and push and just have a good time doing it. I remember my first Team Cup like way back in July of 2013. I was on a team with Nick Waltz and we did really, really well. It was a bunch of new coaches at the time and we just had a lot of fun. So if you are listening to the recording of our team call and you do not have a Team Cup team, you need to let me know so that we can connect you with a team. Also, if you are a Team Cup captain and you're a part of my downline, I would love to do a Zoom call next week with your team as a whole so that we can kind of just talk strategy and best practices and all that kind of good stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is the next live event, which is GoPro. It's run by Eric Worre, who's like the godfather of network marketing. And it's November 16th through the 19th. There's a hotel that Pete Reelman blocked out a bunch of rooms at. Tickets are $320, and if you want to go, you need to talk to Pat Reelman about it. I will be posting his like Google document in our coach group, so if you have any interest in going, you need to get your name on there because he spent $32,000 buying 100 tickets for everybody. So he obviously wants to recoup his money and not have that kind of money sitting out there. And there are other teams asking for tickets from him as well. So if you have any interest in going whatsoever, please get your name on that list. It really, to me, is kind of like Summit, but not Beachbody focused. I learned a ton last year, and I think the one element is it's really cool to see what everybody is doing in this profession as a whole, not just from a Beachbody perspective. It's also great that we can see Tony Robbins within that $320, which is super, super cheap. I was looking at tickets to Unleash the Power Within, and they're $700 just for a ticket to that event. So it's a steal. Pitbull is going to be there. He is a massive entrepreneur, not just a musician. I think it'll be a ton of fun, and taking that money to invest in yourself and put that back into your business is really critical. And splitting a room with 3 other girls isn't going to be that big of a deal. It's not that much money. So if you're interested or want more details, I'll post that Google document for you guys to update. Or if you have questions about the event in general, you can always come and ask me. But that's it for kind of like happenings as to what is going on. I've been doing massive Zoom calls or calls in general. I've been anti-Zoom, probably because I look homeless since I came home from Summit. But I've been like anti-Zoom. Oh yeah, Brendan Burchard. Yes, I forgot about him, and he's awesome. So yes, seriously, $320 is absolutely nothing to see Eric Worre and Brendan Burchard and all of these people. It's super cheap. Sorry. So I've been doing like a ton of one-on-ones these last couple of days, which have been super exciting. I think everybody is feeling that like post-summit high and kind of getting their life together. And that's kind of going to be the topic of our call tonight. It's just letting people casually share like what their top takeaways were from Summit and kind of what it is that impacted them the most. Next week on our team call, we're gonna have Cassie. I'm probably gonna pronounce her name wrong, but it's Smeltzinger, I think. She's gonna be on our team call. I believe she is one of Ashley Feldenson's coaches. She's super cool, very real, raw, and authentic on social media. And she's a fairly brand new coach who has killed it in the business these first couple of months. She is always at like the top of the Success Club leaderboard for Team Boom. So I asked her to get on a call with us. So she's going to be down for speaking next Tuesday. Also, if you were at GoPro in March, I cannot remember her name, but she was the girl who was like, I recruited 2 people from a strip club. I don't know if you remember her, but she's going to be on our team call as well, which will be super fun. She was an interesting, very cool person to hear speak. So I'm trying to book like a lot of really good team call speakers for you guys so that you can get lots of value for your time on Tuesday nights. So I will go last because I don't really want to talk right now. So whoever wants to start, and just, it doesn't have to be super long or anything. Just kind of share what your top takeaway was from Summit and kind of why you think Summit is important and why people should be in Indianapolis next year.
Oh, let me go. I always love to talk. Me. Okay. Honestly, as generic as it may sound, Brendon Burchard probably hit me the hardest, and maybe it's because he talked about skydiving and I love skydiving, or he was freaking hilarious, but he shared the 5 personal musts for motivation and success. And it's funny because I was just looking back through this stuff, and after getting off my call with Amy, I'm having, like, I kind of know my why, but not in a very deep enough way. And that's what I really have to dig into. And it's funny because reading back over the 5 personal musts for motivation and success, I'm like, okay, I'm an idiot and I just have to look at this. And that's how I'm going to figure out my why a little bit deeper. So that was, I'm going to share that one, and then I have one other thing after that. But so that was my biggest takeaway, because that's what I need to focus on. I like know that I enjoy it, but I've never turned it into successful enough of a business. So I think these 5 things are going to help me transform it from a hobby to actually a business that sets me free. One was I must raise my ambitions and refuse to settle. Because I'm a very complacent person and I just kind of float along a lot. 2 was I must live each day with intention. And for me, he kept saying, did I live, love, matter today? And to be mindful of the fact that the clock in our lives are ticking. 3 was I must no longer fear rejection, which is like 98% of my existence. 4 was I must jump in and face my fears. Which I can do with some things in life, but not my business. And I think it's because I love the aspect of helping people more than I love the business aspect of it. And that's the part that I fear, is that I'm going to lose that if I reach into the business side. And the 5th part was I must find something to fight for, which is actually rereading my notes that I wrote under his 5th bullet point there, I think is already going to help me really dig deeper into my why to find the thing that I'll be willing to run into a burning building for. So that was my biggest takeaway, was Brendon Burchard's 5 personal musts for motivation and success. And then my number 1 takeaway on why events, especially something as big as Summit, is important. I think that anything that's live is important, because we do so much stuff on the computer, and to actually have like real live human beings around you reminds you that this is real and not gimmicky, because we all love it, we know it, but maybe reaching out to other people makes us feel awkward. And so it's a reminder of like how real this is. But something as big as Summit reminds me that, it's not just like us 20 people or whatever on a team that are like, oh my God, I love Beachbody, I love that workout. There's like literally thousands of people that realize like, hell yeah, this is the jam. So, of course, we have ridiculous amounts of training and all those obvious common sense things of like, a lot of companies don't train in this fun of a way. You get to connect with people you only talk to online, but even just more so for me, it's like that culmination of reality of like, it's real. And, especially with teammates, like I need human interaction or I don't feel connected and I don't feel like I have any reason to be a part of stuff in general in life. Like at work, if I'm not connecting with my coworkers, I feel worthless. In my life, if I'm not connecting with my family, my neighbors even, they're like 80 years old and I still want to be their best friend. So to me, it's that way to like really connect with people and make it real. Also, I'm really sorry if you saw my grandma underwear when I walked out to get my notebook.
Our whole entire house has seen you naked, so it's fine. No big. All right. Who wants to go next? You can just casually unmute yourself.
Well, I'll go since nobody's jumping on the bandwagon. This was my 5th summit, and it's my 3rd time going as a diamond. So I've had a lot of ups and downs in this business. I loved Brendan Bouchard as well. He was fabulous. So I've struggled with wanting to go to summits and not go to summits, and like GoPro's coming up, and I went last year twice and it was amazing. And it really got me back into the business. But I don't know if last month I had a slump for some reason, just June in general. I was just like, I don't know if I want to work this. And I do, because now I have this amazing challenge group going because I was working, like I just took 2 weeks before summit and the week of summit, and I was on vacation for the last 2 weeks. I was in DC the week after summit. I was in Dallas the week before summit. I've been a traveling fool because that's what I love to do with life. And yeah, it costs a lot of money, so I need to work this business. And my house is a mess because it's being remodeled. And today I had a whole breakdown with my husband about how I need more money to fix the house. Because like when I'm at home, I'm like looking at all these things around here that need fixed. And so that's my goal in life. Like I know that's really probably not like a heartwarming goal, but honestly, like I need money to reach like what I want in my life. And I love to help people. And like Leanna said, when you work the business, like I just love to help people. I have a great challenge group going this month. I've had a free challenge group for 5 years now. And I would say maybe 20% of those people have ever bought something from me. They're all listed as customers, but only maybe 20% because I have them create a free profile. But I build those relationships over time, so it doesn't matter what they're doing. Like I want them to have success like I have with the whole weight loss side of things. When it comes to Summit, you just have to get to the events, because when you lose your faith in like what you're doing, any event is going to get you back to it. Because even though this is like my 5th time and I know it, like before you get there, I don't know if anybody else does this, like, but you question yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why am I spending the money to go to this event? Like, it's just crazy. But this time, this is what I did. And I'm going to, if you haven't been to Summit, this is what I'm going to tell you. Go for you, and don't like ever want, like try to keep everybody else happy. Like just in life in general, you need to follow that rule. But at Summit, like this Summit, I just took it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to New Orleans and I'm going to hang out with some of my best friends. And I don't care if I see this person or that person, like I'm just going to have a good time. And it was really hectic. I didn't even go out the first night that I was there, which is crazy because I love to go out. And I was still exhausted the entire time because you have to get up early and you have to rush to take showers after the workouts and you have to get to the trainings. So this is what I did. And I feel like it's a key for your next event. Go to what you can go to. And if you're too tired and you just want to relax, it's okay, because all these things are recorded and you can watch them. Like I watched Shalene's, I think Sarah Marshall posted it in the Summit group. I watched her speech at home in my living room and I had great notes and I could concentrate because I've been to the event where I go to every single thing. I go to all the general sessions and I go to all the trainings. And by the end, I'm just like this. Like, I don't want to be here. This is so stupid, because you're just like so full of information. It might be amazing information, but I'm more concentrated on like the girl's shoes on stage. I'm like, oh, she has a cute outfit. And it's just not worth it. So just take your time when you go. I mean, I know we have a whole 11 months, ahead of till next summit. But any event, because GoPro's coming up and that's a hectic event too. Take your time. Don't stress if you don't make something because it will be recorded and you can catch it later, or get your friend's notes. It's not the same, but the recording is pretty much. And just have a good time. So like, I love Brendan Burchard. I loved Shalene Johnson's thing that I just saw, 2 days ago when Sarah posted it. So if you haven't seen that, it's about social media and being present in the now and not like, following last year's. But I think it's important to ask yourself, what are you doing this for? Dig deep in your soul, because if you're just doing it to sell a challenge pack, it's just not worth it. Like these challenge groups, like when you run a good challenge group, because I've had really good ones, I've had really crappy ones. When they're crappy, there's something missing, and it's something missing in you and like what you want in your life. Like, so just look at that. Maybe this is totally random, but anyway, that's what I got for you.
No, I love those. I think those are awesome takeaways. This is my 4th summit, and much like Bridget, I think you get to the point where you feel like you've seen it all, heard it all, and you've been around it all. And just, Bridget, the month of June pretty much sucked for everybody. I don't know what it was about June, but apparently it was like, yeah, crap for everybody. But I kind of went into Summit feeling the exact same way. I had this like deep lull in my business. There was a lull in my heart, and I really I've struggled a lot this year with doubt, a lot. And I knew Summit was absolutely necessary, but at the same time, it was just hard for me to get there. But I posted one of my takeaways on my social media, and maybe you read it, maybe you didn't. But my first takeaway, honestly, was the people. It is always the people. Like Leanna said, I think it's really easy in this business when you're virtual 99% of the time to forget how much you really enjoy being around people, and how much I really enjoy this tribe of women that I've created over these last 4 years. And the 4 a.m. conversations in a bedroom where you're bawling your eyeballs out and pouring your heart out to each other, and those are really precious moments to me. And it was exactly what I needed to realize, is that I'm not a complete and utter failure, and I've created something really beautiful, and I just need to grow that now. And New Orleans is hot as balls, so my personal advice is to never go. But my other takeaway was really, really simple. I didn't get to see Pat a lot, so Pat's my coach, and that's what gets harder and harder as time goes on, and you create your own teams and stuff like that. You get really, really close. Like, I barely saw Bridget, which sucks really bad. But you get really close to people, but you have your teams, and so you're spread out, and there's so many people to see. And Friday night did not go the way that I expected it to, and I think I saw Pat for like 0.6 seconds. And Sunday, thankfully, we had some time. He took a bunch of us out to lunch, and I was sitting next to him, and I was talking to him and Rob and Casey McFadden, and we were just having a really great conversation. And all of a sudden, just out on a whim, he picks up his phone and decides that he wants to stay for another night, and just changes his flight on the drop of a hat to stay and be with his family for the rest of the night, and to go home the next day. And it really just made this impression upon me, that I'm really tired of struggling with money. I'm tired of struggling with like not having as much as I want to have. I feel like I've had this like block inside of me that I'm not worthy of having more money, or that I'll never have enough money. And so that moment really helped me to realize, like, that's exactly how I want to live my life. I want to be able to do whatever I want to. And it was like such a real moment that he didn't even realize occurred. But it was like such an impactful thing for me, because it's like it was real life. Like, it was a real scenario of like possibility. And it kind of just punched me in the gut a little bit and fueled my belief in myself and in this business. And I just came home really clear on what I wanted to accomplish and what my why is. My why will always be at the center of really helping people. I think that's the beautiful part about about what we do and the privilege of what we get to do. But for me, I have figured out that I'm okay with the fact that most of my why is financially driven, and it's not a gross thing to be financially driven. There's a lot I want to be able to do with that money, and it has necessarily nothing to do with material things all the time, but being able to really serve and give back to people that I love in my life. And it was just a really good reminder of that. And so I would say, a couple of years ago when I was really, really, really struggling with money and getting to an event, I remember Pat said to me, he was like, who's your best investment? Like, if you could invest in anybody, who would you invest in? And I said myself. And he was like, absolutely, that's your best bet. You are your best bet. And so I think live events are everything. It's completely necessary and so worth the money. If you come home and implement and you use that like fire, that spark, that belief, and you just grow it, tremendous things happen. And I think I'm more now ready than I ever have been to really give everything of myself to this business and to my team. So that was my summit nuggets. And Leanna being naked 90% of the time was super cool. So anyway.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
I was.
Wait, do you know what I should do? I should just next time I should get body paint that says built that beach body. Ooh. Product of the naked product.
and not stay in a haunted house. That'd be super cool. All right. Who else wants to share?
Can I share? So I actually went into Summit not really hoping that it would like all of a sudden put all of this like inspiration and motivation into me, because I have been to like conventions and get-togethers or whatever you want to call them, and they're like pep rallies. Like, I don't know if you guys ever went to high school pep rallies, but they pep you up. And for me, I'm such an introvert. Like, if I use all that energy, eventually it just fades. And I really, really didn't want to go into Summit and have all this energy and come home and go to bed and wake up the next morning and be like, well, that was cool. I'm the kind of person that, like Amy said, it's the 4 a.m. conversations. Like, if I talk with you one-on-one, I could talk forever. And if you've ever had like a one-on-one conversation with me, or if you've ever Zoomed with me, like, I can talk forever. And it was more of those moments that really meant something to me. Hearing all of the workshops, like, realistically, we are so lucky to be part of this team, to be part of high quality, like, training and high quality heart. Like, so many of us care more than we want to, more than most people do. And a lot of times we care so much that we get afraid to actually do anything because we don't want to mess up that like pure heart, that care. And every single workshop to me, honestly, felt like boring, and it felt baseline. Like, that's just me being totally honest. Like, I didn't spend that money for the trainings because realistically I put in $20 and I ended up at Dash to Diamond, and the trainings were like, they blew me away and I have access to them forever. But it reminded me that whether you were a coach that signed up literally 5 seconds ago, or you are top coach Melanie Mitro, it's all the same stuff. And a lot of the top coaches in our team ended up at lunches or different trainings like with Pat and with other top coaches. And I realized there was a whole other side to Summit that I didn't see. And I'm kind of grateful for that because this is my first Summit. And so I get to really remind myself that we know everything that we need to know. And whether we know our why or not, we know that we're carrying people. And the coolest part of Summit, other than hearing Darren Hardy, I don't know if you guys listen to Darren Daily, but the one thing that he said, I actually wrote it on one of my markers, is that this is my mountain and I'm going to the top. And that's what Summit is. It's people going to the top. And so often we push and we push and we push and we get so close to our goals. And like, this is, I'm talking mostly for me because I get so close to my goals and I'm right there. And if I just gave it one more push, I would break through, and something happens and I get tired, or I think it's not worth it anymore, or I get scared that maybe I'm not worthy of the gift. And I back off. And so my deal this year is just that it's my mountain and I am worthy and I'm going for it. Because I know that I don't have to constantly check my heart. I don't have to constantly stop every 5 seconds and be like, is my heart in the right place? You know, when I say this, am I coming off weird? Because the truth is, I know where my heart's at and I don't have to keep checking it, and people see that. So many people, whether you realize it or not, watch you every day and they love what you share and they love your journey. And at a certain point, it goes from like, go you, to like, dang, I am super jealous and I really want to do that. And depending on how people are will change how they react. But I realized in New Orleans that more people read my posts than I realized. And I only knew that because people would tell me that. And that's the great thing about going to an event, is that people can be like, oh my gosh, I watch you and I adore you. And hearing Amy share her self-doubt and, her struggles, it's like we all deal with the same crap. And one of my coaches is actually my best friend, and she idolizes the crap out of Amy. Like every single day, she's like, oh my God, Amy is the prettiest person in the world. I love Amy. She's amazing. I wish that Amy would be my friend. And it's like, it's stuff like, and we talk to Amy all the time. And I'm like, good, you're her friend on Facebook. Talk to her. But like, we don't realize that, people love what we share, and we have no idea. We deal with our own stuff. And every single day we kind of like sit in our world and we do our everyday things and we see our struggles and we feel so human. And I think it's important to share and just remind people that we feel human. And then I think it was Bridget who said this, but the one thing I did remind myself to do while in New Orleans, because I am not a people person, as much as I love seeing people in person and reminding myself that everyone here is actually a human being, and like if they were standing next to me, I could like touch them. I need a lot of self-care. I need a lot of time to myself. And I've made a habit of every single week having one day completely to myself. And I knew that July wouldn't look like that because of Summit. And so I had to schedule time to not sign up for yet another training, to not allow people as much as they needed me, to not be like, okay, come meet me for lunch. Like, I think it was Thursday was my day. And I was like, Thursday is my day. And I know you need me, but like, I have to do this for me. And I think that's the best thing we can do, is take care of ourselves and remind ourselves to do what we need to do. Because talking to everyone else, you realize like we all have the same feelings, but more than anything, we need to take care of ourselves before we can take care of others. Kind of like when you fly a plane and you put on the oxygen mask before you put it on like a child. And I work with kids. Like I sacrifice everything for kids. Like And if you have kids or you work with kids, you know that this is true. Like, there are times when I forget to eat lunch and I forget to drink water and I forget to go to the bathroom, or I don't forget and I really, really have to go, but I don't go because 3 kids need my help. And like, I have to take a step back and kind of say, you know what, you are worth this. And when you take care of yourself, you're more capable of helping other people. So I just think that's really important this next year. Like, definitely get to the live events, because it is those conversations that happen in the middle of the night. I crawled into bed one night and Kate McGinty, I don't know if you guys know her, she's amazing, but I never thought she would be my friend. And she turned over and rolled over and looked at me at like 3 a.m. Everyone else was asleep. I swear she was still asleep until I crawled in. And she just started talking to me about how much like she loves the things that I do. And she was just like, we just had this heart to heart. And I had no idea, because I idolize her. Like, I think she's an amazing person and she does all this great stuff. And like, there's this superhuman idea when we talk to each other that we see everyone else's journeys and we're like, dang, they're killing it. Like, every single person I saw at Summit, I wanted to go up to them and be like, you're killing it, by the way. Like, you have no idea. Because I compare my struggles with the things that they share on social media. And the great thing about this team is we share everything. And I'm going to cut it off there because I know I talk forever, but I hope you guys go to GoPro. The women's GoPro was amazing. I've heard the men's GoPro, or like the co-ed GoPro, is even better. So I'm stoked, and I hope I see you guys there.
You are a doll. Seriously, you are incredible. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Does anybody else want to share their takeaways from Summit? Sharing is caring. Okay. I won't force anybody to. That's fine.
I'll go.
Oh.
Sorry. I'll go real quick. If you can't hear me, that was because I'm sick. I live in Texas, not too far away from like New Orleans, so it is hot as balls here, and it's terrible when you sweat and then you go into AC. But this was my first Summit as well, and my mom has been also in like businesses like this, but for like a light company. So they were putting a lot of doubt in me. My dad was putting a lot of doubt in me. He wants me to be like those salesperson with like the flashing lights on their Facebook, like being very pushy. And I'm trying to explain to him that's not the way to do it. To the point that I just let him talk. I'm like, okay, Dad. But everybody was putting this doubt in me. So when I went to Summit, I didn't really have any expectations, but I was like, I hope something that shows me that this is the right path, or at least this is worth putting in time in. And that's exactly what I got. So it was my first Summit, and the people that I bunked with, most of them had already been there, so they were more relaxed. Luckily, I had a girl, Shanice, in Team Boom. She was my partner in crime. We were the ones going up and down New Orleans, going to all the events, but we ended up crashing for the celebration because we just couldn't keep up anymore. But my favorite takeaway was Brandon, Shalene, but most of all, Darren Hardy. I'm also a big fan of him. I read or listen to the Darren dailies. So I was super excited to see him. I was fangirling like crazy. There was a lot of things that he said that I liked, but one of the few that I liked was what is it? You'll either suffer from either way you will suffer, whether it's regret or what was it? I'm sick, I can't think right now.
Is it discipline?
Discipline, there we go. Regret or discipline. Discipline is short term, which means pleasure would be long term, and vice versa. That one really hit home to me because I'm a person that beats myself up a lot. I'll push things off because I'm like, I messed up in the past. I'd rather just not do it, so I push it off. And then I end up suffering regret. And I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. And it was awesome to see just someone else just excited as me hanging out with Shanice, excited to see all these new people, to fangirl over them. Because I thought that everybody else, as high they get up, it's like, oh, it's just, it's nothing new. But no, there's still people that freak out like they're just brand new. And I wish I could go to GoPro. I really, really wish I could, but I barely scrapped up pennies that I had to go to Summit. And next Summit, my mom actually accompanied me to this Summit because I drove, and when she found out I was driving by myself, she didn't like it. So she tagged along with me. And I felt bad because leaving Summit and having her and her friend with me, I was like, one of my goals next year is when we go to our next Summit next year, if she comes along with me, I can hand her some kind of cash as I hear this for you to spend, or here's for the hotel room, so I can help her have a good time. Because like Amy, my why, it is a big part of it is financial, but I don't think bad of it because I'm being greedy. I'm using it as a tool to better my family, to give my family, my parents, my brother, and my little sister an experiences that probably with this business I probably wouldn't be able to do. So that was my takeaway.
Awesome. Thank you. I love that. I always love hearing perspectives from people who it's like their first time, and just how incredibly powerful it is. It's like we can talk at you all day about it, but until you like experience it and sense it, and you're just kind of surrounded by the vibe of it all, it's kind of hard to explain. But thank you for sharing your takeaways and your heart and kind of what you got from Summit. And it makes me feel amazing that it was just as special to you as it was to me. I think it's a constant reminder. I think another thing too is like, it's a really cool reminder that I think that corporate is always trying to be inventive, and they're always trying to have our back, and they're always trying to, figure out a way to better our business and to help us to better our clients. And there's so many new things coming out, with the launch of the United Kingdom and the new website that they spent so much money on to make better, and just tiny little things I think that they have paid attention to that has just been really, really cool. And so it was awesome to see that. So that's all. Thank you for your time tonight. And I'm so glad that you guys who shared, and just thank you for that. I appreciate it. So
can I share real quick?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Perfect. Hey guys, hope everyone's having a good time. So a few things about my summit, because this was my first summit. I signed on being a coach, I believe, back in March. So new coach, first summit. Didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Didn't really know what to expect except for what everyone had mentioned. So I think what I took away a lot from that weekend were from the general sessions. I think the afternoon workshops at a degree were kind of, I guess, boring, or, I kind of felt like it was really repetitive, even though it was from like different perspectives. They kind of touched up on the same points, and it was, I can only hear like, you can do it the same way, it's just one of those things for me. So, what really my big takeaways were during the general sessions where, I don't even know, everyone talked. I don't even know everyone by name anymore, but that's really what impacted me the most. And probably, I forget who spoke about it, but basically saying how you don't need to be where you want to start promoting your business. Because, I have a really hard time struggling where, I'm still in my before picture, and I'm still working on me to get to my after picture. And I just kind of don't have that confidence and belief in myself to say, like, how can I sell to someone, or, get them to join this community to say, it's great, but I can't show you how great it is because I haven't really transformed myself. And just kind of hearing from, a lot of the women kind of talk about how actually, like, this is the best time to do it, because there are going to be a few people who join with you who are going to make those transformations with you. And there's going to be the ones that choose not to for whatever reason. And then they're the ones that are going to say, oh man, I'm jealous. Like, I should have joined when everyone else did, and I could be looking as great as they are now. So that really helped me out quite a bit mentally. In one of the workshops in the afternoon, I actually took away a quote that actually hits home for me. And it says, if you wait until you have everything perfect, you'll never get started. I'm a very organized person. I love to have a plan. And with this business, I was telling Amy on our call on our 101 that this business really scares me because it challenges me. And, all the three things that scare me are all kind of rolled into one. And kind of listening to that perspective really kind of made me think that, it's okay that I don't have an answer for everything. And it's okay that I don't have my transformation just yet. And it's okay if I fail, because at some point I'm still moving forward and I'm still thriving. And I think that's the point, is that I have to get out of my head that it's okay to fail. And I'm not that person to have failed, who doesn't take failure very well. And so just kind of do a positive spin on it. And just to hear how impactful the Vitals are, and how I've even joining Beachbody, I joined back in January, and it's just as a challenger, and really working on that personal development and reading the books that I have, really have changed me as a person and my perspective on life. And to see myself grow in just a few months, to really know that I can now start applying that to my physical and emotional areas of life as well. So I think for me, what takeaways I had from Summit were more of just kind of piecing getting all the pieces together, and just really just meeting everyone, and, that they're a real person. They're just not a picture on Facebook. So I'm really glad that I did go, and thank you, Amy, for pushing me to go, because I don't really think I'd have as much passion to start my business and to really take it. My business is a business, and I need to take it seriously. And I don't think I would if I didn't go. So, from here on out, we have, the passion to continue, and we're going to work hard. And I really wish you guys the best with your own businesses, and keep going to those live events. I've gone to Super Saturday, and I try to continue to go to whatever I can that's local to me. And that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg, just because financial is always struggling, but that's one of the reasons why I joined Beachbody in the first place. That was my takeaway, my few.
I love it. I wrote down that quote for my to-do list tomorrow, so that will be the thing that I read in the morning. I love that. That's amazing. If you wait until everything's perfect, you'll never actually get started. Good takeaway. That's really good. Awesome. Clarissa, do you want to share? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I had to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So while I did get some positive information from the workshops and from all the general sessions and stuff that I can use towards the business, and all the personal development and stuff, the thing that I took away the most was our sense of community. Because I know you guys probably all saw the post I had written about it, and I thank you guys, but I had gone to Summit not knowing anybody. So nobody in my direct team had gone, and I essentially just went to a completely different state with a bunch of strangers. My family thought I was crazy, but I said, yeah, I don't know them in person, but I've talked to some of them for a few months. So it was just really amazing to plug myself into a community that has open arms. I'm starting to get it.
That's awesome. I have to tell you two things. One, you are an incredibly kind person. And we had I think it was pizza night or something in our house, and Clarissa just walked in the house and right away was like, what can I do? What can I do for you? And it was just like the most heartwarming thing because I struggled with anxiety the whole entire time that I was there. And she was just incredibly sweet and kind in that moment. And it meant the world to me. And 2, I know you just started Shift Shop, but you inspire the shit out of me. And I'm so proud of you because I know how hard this journey is. And I live it and I breathe it every single day. And I, just like Jen said, I didn't realize how many people were watching my journey. And it's like overwhelming at times, sometimes. But I get a lot of people who are like, you make it look so easy, and it's not easy. It's a daily decision. It doesn't matter what part of your journey that you're on, but I'm so glad that you're in that coach group with us, and you just inspire the hell out of me. And I want you to know that every day I'm watching and I'm waiting for you to post, and it just encourages the crap out of me. So I love it.
It's really early for me because I'm 3 hours behind you. So you're probably like, where's your post? Well, it's only 6 a.m.
Well, I'm up butt cracking down at 4:15 in the morning, so
Yeah.
it's 1 a.m. your time when I'm working out. So.
Yep. I'm snoring at that time.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Your takeaways were awesome. And again, it just solidified for me completely how amazing our team is and how this tribe of women, whether you're my coach or you're a part of my downline, doesn't matter. You guys are so cool. You guys are incredible people, and you have such incredible hearts, and you inspire me, and you make me better. And I'm really, really excited for what the rest of this year can hold for us if we work really freaking hard to reach our goals, and we take care of a lot of people, and we help a lot of people, and we inspire people. But most of all, we work on our belief. That's the one thing that I've been talking about these last couple of days is I don't think that we lack belief in our company and what products that we sell or the products that we offer to people, but we lack belief in our own capabilities and our own self and who we are. And I don't care if you're Melanie Mitro or a brand new coach, doesn't matter. We all struggle. And that was the other impressive thing to me, was to watch her hear her speak about how she struggles so much with anxiety and how it's not such like an awful taboo thing. And I think we all have those things that we struggle with every single day, but it all comes down to the core of fear and self-doubt. And that's the one thing I'm really excited to build with you, is just build you up and build your belief so that you can see exactly what I see in you. And that's the number one thing Pat has done for me for these last 4 years, is he has always seen exactly who I am, even when I don't see it. And he's pulled that out of me, and it's been a gift. So I'm really, really pumped for the rest of this year to see what we can do together as a team, not as a me thing, but as a we thing. And you guys just inspire the hell out of me. And I cannot wait to see your life-altering transformations, not just a physical transformation, but a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in every way transformation throughout the rest of this year. So I hope you guys have a good night, and we will talk next Tuesday on our team call. So peace out, guys. Have a good night.